Audi's subtly styled, shapely coupe has been with us for a while now. This here is the 2016 Audi A5, but it's been with us since 2007 for the 2008 model year. It's received a few tweaks and adjustments over the years. The front end, the rear end have been lightly updated, some new content, some new engine and transmission offerings, but overall it's been mostly the same. This is kind of the last hurrah for the model before we get an all new one in 2017. So for now, let's dive into the one we have, the 2016. If you like the lines and styling of the Audi A5, you owe a hearty thanks to now retired Volkswagen head of design, Walter de Silva. He penned this car, and he's no longer with the brand, but he had a helping hand in the upcoming 2017 version. In fact, he called the Audi A5 the most beautiful vehicle he ever created for the brand, so that's saying something from a man who knows how to design. This one looks particularly sharp because it's wearing the S-Line competition package. The grille's blacked out, this lower trim bit is blacked out, the wheels are black, the mirror housings are black, the side sills are black. There's a black bit around here on the rear diffuser. There's a lot of black going on, but it looks really great against the white paint. To find the heart of the Audi A5, you simply lift the hood. Underneath it sits a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's good for 220 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. This version here is paired with an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic gearbox. Now, oddly enough, kind of excitingly, you can actually get the coupe with the 6-speed manual, and it's fantastic, but the 8-speed here does a pretty good job too. If you get the convertible, there's no manual for you. So get the coupe, get the stick if that's what you want, but this isn't a sporty sports car, it's more of a luxury grand tourer, so the 8-speed is going to be fine for a lot of people as well. Now, you can also jump all the way up to the S5, and that swaps the 2-liter for a 3-liter supercharged V6 engine and gives you 333 horsepower. Granted, your starting price now starts $13,000 higher. When you step inside the A5, this is where you start to see how this is an Audi product in need of an update. That's because we've sampled cars like the new A4, the new Q7, the new TT, where they have the virtual cockpit display, which is excellent. This doesn't have that. This has old school Audi analog gauges, which are fine, but when you know what else is out there, then you start to have a little bit of brand envy within your own brand. However, Audi did do a wonderful job for the last hurrah for this generation A5. These seats are pretty awesome. They're very close to what you'd find in the S5, if not the same thing. The S5 might have a little bit more bolstering, but these Alcantara line center inserts on the seats with the S-Line badging look fantastic. Because this is the S-Line competition package equipped car, you also get this 3-prong flat bottom steering wheel, which looks and feels super sporty. There's these big shift paddles behind it. I like that the center stack is canted a little bit towards the driver, so it gives you more of a cockpit feeling, which is a cliche thing to say, but it's true here. It's an actual design element, and it makes sense. It is very drab in here though, which is something Audi's pretty good at. It's just black on black on black, different types of matte black and piano black. But again, it's a sporty car, so darkness rules the sporty world, I guess. But regardless, it's good. It's good enough for a car that's on its way out. We're really excited to see the next A5 with all of the modern Audi bits and bobs. This does have a nice Bang & Olufsen sound system though, so you're getting good value for money here, relatively speaking. Now, despite the obvious fact that I'd much rather be in an S5, the A5 isn't too bad. It makes really good use of its 220 horsepowers. That's aided by the fact that Audi has fitted it with its Drive Select system. You put it in auto mode, it handles things automatically. You put it in comfort mode, it eases things up a bit. Sport livens up the transmission, feels like you get a little bit better throttle response. There's an individual mode where you can fine-tune a few elements as well. But if I map the throttle, it gets up and goes. Now, this isn't an S5, so that's not bad acceleration at all. Now, like I said earlier, this is definitely not a sports car. It's a porky car, maybe. It's 3,700 pounds. But it's making decent use of that 220 horsepower. The 8-speed automatic gearbox is up to the task. It's really nice and comfortable cruising around, but if I grab one of these paddles here, drop it down, it makes decent noise. I'm not expecting great noise. This isn't, again, an S car or an RS5, which made surprisingly good noise in the Audi lineup. That RS5, by the way, is discontinued for the 2016 model year. So if you didn't get one of this generation, you're kind of out of luck. Better go to CarMax and then get the warranty. Now, there's some good competition out there for this car. You've got the BMW 4 Series, you've got the C-Class Coupe, you've got the Lexus RC, which now competes here. Cadillac has its ATS. There's a number of cars out there. You can even look at the Infiniti Q60. So you've got good choices. The Audi A5 competes rather nicely, even in its dated form here. Now, the BMW 4 Series is significantly quicker. 0 to 60 on this one is about just over 6 seconds. Audi quotes 6.1. The BMW is probably a full second faster to 60, and that's significant. The Lexus RC, not the RCF, is about as fast as this car, so you're not giving up a ton. This is competitive in its class. It's not crazy off the line, but Audis are never really like that until you get up into the manic, insane versions of their cars, like an RS7 Performance, stuff like that. So for its intended market, it does the job rather nicely. Now the Mercedes might be the nicest of the bunch. The Cadillac ATS on its new Alpha platform chassis is possibly the most entertaining one to drive. But the Audi A5 seems to sit firmly in the middle. Maybe I'd give it a slight edge towards those who favor styling, because this isn't outrageous, yet it still managed to be very good looking. Now, how much are you gonna spend? Well, the base price of an Audi A5 is just over $40,000. This one, as tested, is pretty darn loaded, so this one is $52,000. I still feel like that's all right value for money within this segment. It's a ton of money, there's no question about that. That's not what I'm saying, but relatively speaking, pricing it out against the competition, it's right there. If you want to play in this segment, that's how much the cars cost. It's not great, but that's how much they cost. Now, when you're a taller gentleman or a wider gentleman, one of the things you're curious about is how you're going to fit in the car. This is a German car. Germans are big people, so you're probably going to fit fine. I don't even think I have the seat all the way back. Yep, look, I can keep going. I can actually, wow, this is really far. I don't need all that legroom, and I'm 6'3". I'm 220 pounds. I can go actually further up. That was too far. This has a sunroof, so you're sacrificing some headroom, but I still got a few inches. If this was the coupe, I'd probably have even more room up there. So if you're bigger or taller or big and taller, you'll be fine in here. If you're smaller, well, whatever, you'll be fine too. So we have a car that's been around for a while, yet still looks good styling-wise. We have a car that has another version of itself, the newer version, on the horizon, but this one still represents a decent deal within the segment. If I were you and I were shopping for this car, personally, I'd wait for the new one. However, if you're looking to save a buck, the 16 is probably going to be discounted as the 17 comes and dealers need to make way on their lots. Either way, you're getting a good car. Wait for the new A5 hotness or settle for the current gen A5 goodness. It's up to you. Either way, you haven't made a bad choice. Psst, but I'd wait for the new one.